Hello, my name is Caitlin Bright, and today I'm going to explain to you why intuitive eating is better than dieting and how intuitive eating has proved to be more effective than dieting in therapy. Imagine you've spent your whole life struggling with your weight. Because of this, you later developed an eating disorder, and after years of maybe struggling with this, you seek help through a therapist. Instead of that therapist teaching you about how to honor your body's hunger and its satisfaction, they stick you on yet another diet. In doing so, they reinforce this idea that you need to change your body in order to receive the inside and outside love that you're seeking from others. So throughout this speech, we're just going to talk about exactly what is intuitive eating, how it applies into therapy, and how, when the two are juxtaposed, dieting and intuitive eating proves to come out on top and overall more successful than dieting for people who are struggling with eating disorders and just an overall positive relationship with food. With a rising negative stigma surrounding dieting, therapists are transitioning over from diet planning to intuitive eating. This is because, of course, explained by the World Health Organization, America was labeled the most obese nation, with 36.2% of Americans falling within the obese category. So it makes sense why people are wanting to change the way their body looks and to become a bit healthier so that they don't have to worry about early diseases developing or maybe early death. So, what is intuitive eating? Well, as explained by Evelyn Tribole, who is the co-founder of intuitive eating really, simply put, is just honoring your hunger and giving your body what it wants when it asks for it. So not restricting because you feel like you'll gain too much weight if you eat something, or binge eating later because you restrict it. It's simply eating what your body wants when it is asking for it. Also explained by Erin Flores, who is a registered dietitian and nutritionist, it is not at all a diet. It is really just giving your body what it asks for in the moment. So the principles of intuitive eating, there are 10, and they also feed into this definition developed by Evelyn Tribole. These are explained by Alyssa Rumsey, that explains that really, again, it is just honoring your hunger, realizing when your body is satisfied and honoring that satisfaction, as well as realizing your fullness and when your body is full and you can stop eating. And you don't have to overeat because, tonight you'll restrict later or you're counting calories. So it's really just giving your body what it wants, and it all boils down to respecting your body and its natural processes so that later on you're not overeating and you're not binge eating and gaining more weight than you initially had expected to. So now that we know a bit about what intuitive eating is, how does it apply into therapy? Well, that's easy. Lauren Cash explains that, who is a certified licensed social worker and therapist, intuitive eating therapist. She explains that really all it is teaching people to trusting their internal cues, and doing so, like I said, when people are hungry, they feed themselves. When people are full, they stop eating. Realizing what is satisfying in that moment. Am I satisfied? Did that satisfy me? Do I need more? Do I not need more? And it's really just about honoring all of those questions and looking at your body and just saying, okay, I am full and I respect that in this moment, and I'm done eating. And that's completely fine because that's what your body wants. Mr. Rowe, who is Miss Tiffany Rowe's husband, who we will talk about in just a few moments, it also developed this method called the What Sounds Good method. And it's just giving your body what sounds good to you in that very moment as well. So that, if you're wanting something hot, then you eat something hot. If you're wanting something that's a little bit lighter and crunchy, like a salad, eat the salad because that's what your body wants. You don't have to eat the salad because that's what you need to eat or what sounds good to you. It's about honoring what your body is wanting. This continued. Tiffany Rowe, who is a licensed intuitive eating counselor, explains that With that said, I've seen a lot of people, dare I say thousands, win the battle against eating disorders, self-hate, and obsession with body size by rejecting the diet mentality and recognizing their natural intuitive guidance through the therapy process. And by honoring their hunger and their natural processes, they've actually developed a healthier relationship with food and been able to step away from the dieting process and the self-loathing that they feel inside because they're not developing anything better and they're not stepping away from the eating disorder that they had already developed. So now that we know a bit about what intuitive eating is and how it's applied into therapy, why is it better than actual dieting? Well, again, explained by Miss Tiffany Rowe, 95 to 98% of diets prove to be not effective. And then within a 5-year period following that dieting, most people gain back most, if not more, of that weight that they had already lost. It's also a risk factor for developing more eating disorders or an eating disorder if you hadn't already developed one because you become so obsessed with your weight. The goals are also different, as the goal of losing weight and the goal of just honoring your body and what it needs, and also just restricting versus trusting your body. So you can see that the goals are a lot different when it comes to intuitive eating and dieting. And because of this, there's a good comparison explained by Teddy Hicks that it says, how does intuitive eating and dieting compare? One is about loving, accepting, and taking care of yourself, and the other is about thinking you are deeply flawed and need to change. This is a great explanation and very, very, very effective in comparing the two. So I think that it is time for people to ditch the diet and start loving their body for how it is and honoring their body's natural processes and just loving their self. Thank you.